Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After very exciting and very insightful 3 back-to-back technical sessions, we talk about policies. We also exchange notes about how Government of India is pressing on the idea of sustainability, and that is the future. We now move ahead to a very exciting segment, which is a conversation, a fireside chat, and it is going to be about India's homegrown legacy. Something which is very pertinent, something which is upgrowing, and something we all want to discuss about. We need to discuss about how founders are shaping the nation's success story and scaling beyond borders to think, reduce, redesign for a sustainable tomorrow. And to do so, may I request the moderator of the session, Founder Export Circle, Shruti Agarwal, to kindly join us. And may I also request you, Shruti, to escort the speaker of the session, Sridhar Singh, who is the co-founder and CEO TAC TAC, the Ayurveda company. Warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Some energy, maybe put our hands together and welcome the two ladies who are going to take us through the idea of India's homegrown legacy. And with that, over to you, Shruti.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi guys, it's amazing to be on this fireside chat with a fellow founder and a great friend, Sridhar, founder of TAC. Can I just throw some questions to you so that you can...
Shoot.
So Sridhar, how did this brand TAC came into picture? What came to your mind कि ये नहीं ये brand बनाना है?
So, Shruti, we are in November 2024, and July of 24, I started my corporate career with Volvo. And then I joined a company called Bombardier Transportation that makes trains and planes. So, trucks and buses and engines say trains and planes. And probably 10 years back, I would have never thought that I'll be running my own company, and that too in this space. But I remember ever since childhood, I was always fond of reading labels. I wanted to know कि इसमें क्या क्या जा रहा है, क्या ingredients जा रहे हैं. But I was not a beauty fanatic, so to say. It so happened that from 2014 to 2017, I was suffering from a skin disease called urticaria, which is also called hives in common language, which is a lifestyle disease. And I used to be on English medicine, suppressants, anti-allergics like Allegra, Cetirizine. I had side effects. I had premature graying of hair. I had put on about 20 kgs of weight. But then, after 3 years, my body became resistant to these medicines. So even if I would take these medicines, the rashes would show up. In 2017 September, we were in Kerala, and because of the humidity and overall situation, weather conditions there, the situation flared up. And we saw a local Ayurveda doctor there and then we got to know that she had been in generational practice of Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, there is a specialized branch called Vish Shastra, which is the study of toxins. And she helped me understand the kind of lifestyle that I was leading was creating some sort of, toxins and overall contradictory, reactions in the body. But then I got cured. 3 months I started using the ingestibles and topicals that she had proposed. And 3 months I started seeing great results. 6 months I was cured. Now you don't hear the term cure that often in modern medicine. You only see symptomatic relief. You don't see systematic relief. But then when I used to speak to people around me back in Bombardier, the office was in Cyber Hub, flashy, glass cabins. When I used to say words like Nalpa Maradi, Kumkumadi, people would instantly feel कि ये क्या दादी अम्मा जैसी बातें कर रही हो. And that was such a big divide because Ayurveda has been positioned as something which is grandfatherly, borderline orthodox. And that could also be because of the kind of exposure we have towards Ayurveda, which led us to find out, and we spoke to a lot of people, a lot of Ayurveda doctors. So overall, positioning of this most ancient medicinal system is that ये पुड़िया में कुछ बना के दे दो, नीम हकीम types. And that was a very big mission that we kind of felt that we could build something out of it. So Ayurveda, which is relevant for the younger lot, does not only appeal to people who are in, let's say their late 50s, 60s. Ayurveda that performs and is clinically tested for its efficacy. And I think we are the only brand in the country that started giving claim-based results in Ayurveda. That 21 दिनों में इतने %, and that was only after getting the in vivo, in vitro testings done for the formulations. And that is something that people started, initially people would raise eyebrows that Ayurveda में तो 2 साल आप कुछ खाओ, 1 साल खाओ तो चीज़ें होंगी. But the kind of ingredients that go into the formulation can actually build some, bring in some results. And we also understand that Ayurveda cannot only be topical. So eventually we would jump into wellness space also, because let's say lifestyle issues like acne or hair fall or hormonal issues cannot only be solved by treating the issue topically only. So that is the next category that we would want to venture into. There are a lot of things in the journey that we will talk about. I'm sure you'll keep pulling my leg.
So we all know how you have built TAC. Most of us also know your personal journey. But just for the larger audience, can you elaborate how your personal journey has been? It's very inspiring, and I think the audience needs to know what you have been through. And you are sitting here, but strong. But it's been tough for you. So if you can share that.
So let's take a quick recap. I talked about this skin issue. Now, why was this skin issue? Why did this happen in the first place? So urticaria is a psychosomatic issue जो बहुत ज़्यादा stress की वजह से and बहुत mental pressure की वजह से हो जाता है. I started working at the age of 14. I started waiting at McDonald's while I was in class 11th. And then did my graduation. I paid for my own fees, started working here and there, petty jobs, छोटा कहीं से 2000, 3000, 5000. And actually, exactly when I started my career in 2014, after doing an MBA, I had been working since the age of 14, but I started my corporate career after I did my MBA from Punjab University. That was a period when my parents were undergoing separation. It had been a long, not so great journey. And उस time पे peak situations हो गई थी, and that is what reflected. So, human body, and when you study Ayurveda, human body has different ways and symptoms to show that it's stressed. Some people lose weight, some people lose hair, some people put on weight. For me, it was through urticaria. And I think that is what has helped a lot of things. जब आप एक किसी 14 साल के बच्चे को घर से बाहर निकाल देते हो और वो गली गली घूमता फिरता है, तो उसके बाद फिर you don't have any other option but to be thick-skinned and be resilient to whatever comes.
Thank you. While building tech, what is the major problem in terms of finding the right product or ingredients or maybe supplier or having the manufacturing hub? What do you see which was lacking back then, and do you think that this forum has right now, which if that was there back then, it would have helped you, if you can just.
So as somebody who wanted to start, we are first generation entrepreneurs, first venture also. So, generally when you don't have anybody in the ecosystem, you have to start afresh. I think with events like these, it is, I wouldn't say easier, but at least you have more access to contract manufacturers, or you know that मैं इस इवेंट में या इस एग्जीबिशन में या कहीं पे जाऊंगा या जाऊंगी तो मुझे एक कनेक्ट मिलेगा, एक नेटवर्क मिलेगा. एंड back in 2019, D2C wasn't even a fairly recognized word. Forget about D2C enablers. So that would have helped. But I think I don't think there's any point of sitting and thinking कि यार 5 साल पहले ये होता तो क्या होता. People who want to figure it out will figure it out. In terms of, I think there could be some more stringence in the country with respect to contract manufacturing requirements. And one of the challenges is that and one of the things that people should keep in mind is that if you're looking at any contract manufacturer in any space for a long run, you should always go visit their facility and you should evaluate and check all the documents, because there are a lot of sometimes there could be middlemen, sometimes their business teams could commit things that never actually exist. So very important for you to go see, in our category, for example, innovation, hygiene, cleanliness, certifications, all of these things are very important. Metrology, there are very stringent laws of metrology. Legal metrology is something that we need to abide by. छोटी छोटी चीज़ों पे आपको notice आ जाता है. Even the GSM of the shrink wrap that is there on the product packaging, that has to be of certain microns. So you need to get into nitty-gritties, and very important to have, I think the more control you will have on your formulation, whether you're in food or in a category like this, that will determine how long you will go. And we were just talking about it backstage that, you spend 1 year in cracking a formulation, and then you can hold that, your contract manufacturer, you can hold that person accountable that आप मेरी formulation किसी को नहीं दोगे. But you can't stop somebody picking up your product from the shelf and go to some other manufacturer and say, can you reverse engineer it? And we know that in India, वो बहुत चलता है, right? Reverse engineering. So I think at the end of the day, जैसे मैगी का जो मैगी मसाला है, वो कोई रिवर्स इंजीनियर कर भी लेगा तो भी वो वहाँ तक नहीं पहुँच पाएगा. So these ingredients, these formulations have to be your own. So invest there. Initially लगता है कि जल्दी से कर लेते हैं launch. किसी वेंडर से कोई अगर आपको जल्दी 1 महीने में प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करके दे दे रहा है, तो many a times in a growth stage we tend to skip the gun. But let's not do that, because long term में the kind of investment that you do in innovation and R&D is going to determine the longevity of your customer.
Let's ask the typical question. Since most of the audience are from manufacturing buyer side, what it takes to build a brand? Because brand building is a legacy business. आप आज बनाते हो, आपकी next generation उस brand को चलाती है, right? What it takes to build that brand? Because आज के time में we have so many D2C brands. लोगों का एक thought ये भी है कि यार brand बनाना बड़ा easy है, तभी इतने brands आ रहे हैं. But what it takes to build and scale it at that level? We'll hear from you.
मतलब I don't know who says brand बनाना easy है, मुझे तो product बनाना भी easy नहीं लगता है. I think we are figuring out, Shruti. I don't know the answer completely, and I think till the last breath I will be figuring out. मुझे लगता है कि what we have a control over is the input metrics, and the output would be brand building. Now, let's say if you take a blank canvas and you start jotting down the points, all the brand touch points through which the consumer can see you, feel you, look at you, create a perception about you. Now, it could be your product, it could be your Amazon storefront, it could be your website, it could be the packaging, the brown corrugated box, the tape that you use, it could be the follow-up message on WhatsApp. Just jot down everything through which the customer, you are speaking to the customer or the customer can speak to you, whether it is through direct words or it is only through thoughts. So once you jot down all those touch points, you need to then go back to the basic question, is it speaking the same language? Is it consistent? And then is it aligned to the core mission of the brand, the core ethos of the brand? I think this is where a lot of, and we also figure, we started off with, at some point in time, we had more than 100 SKUs. Now we are down to 30 SKUs. But building depth, so एक SKU की ज़्यादा units बेच लो, बजाय कि आप 100 SKUs रखो और उसकी बहुत कम units बेचो. So it will be a consistently evolving journey. I think brand is not something that you push in the minds of the consumer. Brand is through all these touch points and coherent communication. Are you able to communicate? Let's say हम बोल रहे हैं कि हम आयुर्वेदा younger lot के लिए बनाना चाह रहे हैं, but is my sales, speaking the same, is it giving me the same data points? So हमारी जो 80% buying audience है, if it is between 24 to 35 years of age, then it is still okay. But had it been, let's say, people who are in their late 40s, 50s, then हम एक चार दीवारी में बैठ के यंग लोगों के लिए आयुर्वेदा बना रहे हैं, that is not true. So I would say just jot down everything that you think is a possible brand touch point and put everything together. And it is okay to not do 100 things, do only 5 things, but those 5 things should be very consistent.
We all know Ayurveda is known from India for the global market, and of course, you might be going in the same direction. What is the main strategy and plans that you have in order to go to global market? What is that you are planning to do?
So next year, as a part of our AOP, we would want to expand our global presence, and with enablers like you, Shruti, leading projects like Export Circle, I think it has become more accessible for Indian brands, D2C brands, to have more exposure in such networks. I remember, back in the day, जब कोई export करता था, तो I think, so there's a concept called collective bargaining in industrial relations, wherein the workers, or let's say the blue collar workers, because at some point in time back in the day, जब industrial revolution इतना नहीं आया था, तो उनके rights को oppress कर दिया जाता था. To protect their rights and interest, collective bargaining was a thing that they had. And back in the day, it was the bigger companies or bigger organizations that had networks or access, उन्हीं को ही export करने को मिलता था, या फिर customs का process इतना complicated लगता था. But now that such platforms are available, then Stelco सारे compliances में help करता है, then there are logistics partners that you guys have tied up with, तो वो पूरा ecosystem है. And any brand at whatever scale, if they are genuinely interested कि मुझे export करना ही करना है, then, and you were also mentioning that you are going to have setups, exhibitions across Middle Eastern countries, US, UK. I think it will become very, not easy, but you will provide the right kind of access to people. As an entrepreneur, as a company, as somebody who's running a company, it will not be easy, but हम लोग figure out सारे कर ही लेंगे.
I think एक basic change आया है. 6 साल पहले D2C वर्ड भी नहीं होता था, राइट? दैट वाज डिफाइंड. पहले हम लोग ऑनलाइन मार्केट प्लेस में ब्रांड बेचता था, तो जो अनेबलर्स थे वो उनको एंटरटेन भी नहीं करते थे. दैट बिकॉज आई हैव कम फ्रॉम दैट बैकग्राउंड. एक बेसिक चीज़ चेंज हुई है, वो है कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर. नाउ कंज्यूमर इज़ ऑनलाइन एंड दे आर बाइंग इट. फॉर्चुनेटली अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये चेंज सिर्फ इंडिया में नहीं हुआ है, इंटरनेशनल हुआ है. दैट मीन्स पहले जो एक्सपोर्ट होता था वो यहाँ से डायरेक्टली B2B होता था. आज के टाइम में एक्सपोर्ट रिटेल एक न्यू टर्मोलॉजी आई है. वी ऑल्सो से इट न्यू एज एक्सपोर्ट्स, जिसमें आप यहाँ से बैठ के, अगर आपको इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में जहाँ का एंड कंज्यूमर है, अगर वहाँ के उनके कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर पता है, वहाँ की जोग्राफी पता है, वहाँ की कंप्लायंसेस पता है, तो आप यहाँ से उस कस्टमर को भी बेच सकते हो, वहाँ के कंज्यूमर्स को बेच सकते हो. दैट इज़ अ मच बिगर अपॉर्चुनिटी. Given you know the compliances, you know the nitty-gritties, the way you understand India ecosystem, it's the same way you have to understand each and every country's ecosystem. If you understand well, the whole world is yours. That's a simple understanding. Last question. What do you think are some of the mantras that have worked with you from the very initial till date, कि ये आज तक चेंज नहीं हुआ? These are the core values that has worked for a brand and with you overall.
So instead of sharing what has worked for me, I'll share कहाँ पर मैं गिरी और उससे मैंने क्या सीखा, और वो आप मत करना, मतलब देख लेना. One is being attached to certain products, people, channels, distribution systems, etc., etc. As somebody who starts the brand, it is very obvious that you will be emotionally invested. अब हम पूरा 24 में से 25 घंटे काम करेंगे, and but we need to understand that हर एक चीज़ का एक purpose है. At certain point in time, there'll be people who will grow faster than the organization is growing. There'll be people who may not grow at the same pace. And which is okay. Every team will not have 100% five-star performers. So is the case with product. So is the case with the distribution channel. I'll give you a simple example of where, and मैं इसका practical आपको बता देती हूँ. We were a predominantly offline heavy organization until late last year. And the company was end-to-end designed for an offline heavy distribution network, पूरा neural system जिसमें CFA, super stockist, distributor, retailer, then आपके BA counters हैं, बहुत सारे retail touch points हैं. Considering we operate in the price point of 450 to 500 rupees, it's not a luxury product, but it's not a cheap product either. And hence we were positioned in the general trade A+ counters through our beauty advisors. Bang came in quick commerce, and it started impacting exactly those pin codes where we had our presence and people. So अगर एक काउंटर की सेल मान लो 1,20,000 1,30,000 हो रही थी महीने की, and we were one of the execution बिल्कुल top notch था, अच्छी सेल हो रही है, सब कुछ हो रही है. हम लोग टॉप 2-3 ब्रांड्स में हैं परफॉर्मेंस के पर्सपेक्टिव से उन काउंटर्स पे. वो सेल फिर 1,00,000 हुई, फिर वो 80,000 हुई, फिर वो थोड़ी और कम हुई, एंड टू अ पॉइंट दैट इट स्टार्टेड बिकमिंग अनवायबल टू रन दोज आउटलेट्स. एंड अबाउट 15-20% of the retailers took a decision to shut shop because, and they had been running these stores for 20-25 years. They were, मतलब second generation भी उनकी इसी business में आ गई थी. So being too attached that अरे हमने तो 2-3 साल offline distribution में लगाए हैं. I mean, we were quick to pivot, and this year quick commerce contributes to about 30% of our revenue, and that is going to grow in times to come. So one is this passionate detachment. Second would be decisions. So the cost of not taking decisions is much more than taking the wrong decision. Wrong decision ले लोगे, उसको जाके दोबारा सही कर लोगे, but सोचते रहोगे कि कोई भगवान का इंसान बंदा आएगा, वो आपको बताएगा, तो नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा. इन जनरली गट फील जो होती है वो सही होती है, वेदर इट्स अ प्रोडक्ट, वेदर इट्स पीपल, वेदर इट्स वट एवर, बट अगेन बी डिटैच्ड. एंड थर्ड आई वुड से इज दैट I mean, as early stage founders, we would want to optimize for growth in the initial few years than on back end. While it is extremely important to not get over paralyzed on only the back end, because sales is the best parameter of the fact that आपकी organization कितने दिन तक survive करने वाली है, नहीं करने वाली है. But focus on your back end, focus on the not so cool things, like अगर आप product बना रहे हो तो उसकी R&D, उसकी innovation, उसकी quality. But then it has to be a fine balance. अगर दुनिया का सबसे अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हो और बिक नहीं रहा है तो भी प्रॉब्लम है, बट कुछ भी बेच रहे हो क्योंकि बहुत अच्छे सेलू हो, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे प्रोडक्ट परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा है. रिमेंबर दैट यू कैन ओनली गेट सो मेनी फर्स्ट टाइम कंज्यूमर्स बाय स्पेंडिंग मनी. The second purchase is what you should be looking at, and then the third purchase, and then the fourth purchase. Whether it's a B2B में तो ये और ज़्यादा important है, but it is equally important in a D2C business also.
I remember Mohit saying from Minimalist, he said once, even if you're doing a 10 CR business in a year, it doesn't mean you've got the right PMF. उसका reason है वो 10 करोड़ से वो 20 करोड़ नहीं बन पा रहा है. इसका मतलब प्रोडक्ट में चैलेंज है, इसका मतलब पिवट करना है. सो वी नीड टू बी वेरी वेरी एश्योर ऑफ what is the right product market fitment, not in terms of what people are buying, but also in terms of whether this product or this particular segment can be scaled or not. Clearly remember, and I think that came into my mind when you're thinking of building a product, how you should look at it. Very dear question. You have built a brand to a certain level which was bootstrapped, and then you got the investors, you got funded. What do you suggest here? I know bootstrapping is always close to the heart of the founders, but a genuine suggestion, and also if you can share, if founders are supposed to run their business bootstrapped, what should they do which can go in a right direction? And when they're looking to raise funds, how they should go about it, if you can just segregate that.
I think taking money from anyone, whether it is investors or banks or lenders or any form of money, will come with its own set of responsibilities, because you are choosing to enter in a fiduciary relationship with somebody, and आप किसी से पैसा ले रहे हो तो या तो आप पैसा वापस करोगे या आप returns दोगे. The only thing with equity investors is that their risk appetite would be higher than a typical debt provider or a loan provider. So in this journey, what is absolutely important is that if you guys are on the same page, and that is not just the initial lovey-dovey conversations that, you know, because when you go to pitch or when a fund is there in the initial days, I think we all know that both the parties will be putting their best foot forward. What is absolutely important is to understand that core values क्या हैं. So core value अगर growth at any cost है, then you also know that सामने वाली party is looking for an exit, a return, a multiplier. But अगर एक PE mindset है, private equity mindset है, जहाँ पर cultivation attitude है, तो एक trader attitude, मेरे को कभी first job में किसी ने, मेरे manager ने बताया था कि एक trader mindset होता है, एक farmer mindset होता है. तो trader होता है कि सामान लिया, थोड़ा profit रखा, आगे उसमें frequency बहुत ज़्यादा होगी, लेकिन आपका कोई लॉयलिस्ट नहीं होगा, क्योंकि आप कुछ भी ट्रेड कर सकते हो. बट जो फार्मर होता है वो बीज, पहले वो ज़मीन ठीक करता है, फिर वो बीज बोता है, फिर पानी डालता है, और फिर वो उससे बहुत, वो मतलब एक लॉन्ग टर्म कुछ बना रहा होता है. तो ब्रांड बिल्डिंग इज़ लाइक दैट, एंड यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि आपका क्या माइंडसेट है. अगर आपको खुद को ही क्लियर है कि यार मुझे 3 साल 5 साल में एग्जिट लेनी है, तो फिर तो दोनों लोग सेम पेज पे हैं अगर क्विक रिटर्न्स चाहिए तो. The other thing is that whether or not you should raise funds totally depends on your plan. See, anybody who starts a business, nobody wants कि मैं 10 साल तक slog करता रहूँ और कोई growth ना हो, या मैं साल का सिर्फ 10 लाख रुपए करूँ. Everybody wants कि मैं भी 10 करोड़ करूँ, 100 करोड़ करूँ, 1000 करोड़ करूँ. But the point is that आपको वो फंड्स क्यों चाहिए? आपको वो फंड्स इंफ्रा बिल्ड करने के लिए चाहिए, आपको वो फंड्स ग्रोथ के लिए चाहिए, मार्केटिंग के लिए चाहिए, किस चीज़ के लिए चाहिए? बिकॉज डू अंडरस्टैंड दैट एनी फंड, एनी सेट ऑफ मनी दैट you get will come in with huge responsibility because it's not your own money. और अब तो घर वाले भी अगर पैसे देते हैं तो they expect कि कुछ रिटर्न मिले, तो बाहर से लोगे तो it has to come in with additional responsibility. So I think only when you have that clarity that यार मेरे को इनिशियल कुछ PMF मिल चुका है, कुछ मेरे पास प्रूफ है मेरे कॉन्सेप्ट का, एंड ये कैटेगरी ऐसी है जिसमें इतना पैसा लेके मैं यहाँ तक लेके जा सकता हूँ या लेके जा सकती हूँ. दैट्स द पॉइंट यू शुड, मतलब आई डोंट नो, आई थिंक सीड आइडिया स्टेज फंडिंग तो अब इंडिया में ऑलमोस्ट बंद ही हो चुकी है. एक टाइम था जब आइडिया स्टेज पे लोगों को फंडिंग हो रही थी. अब तो एवरीबडी इज़ लुकिंग फॉर एटलीस्ट सम ट्रैक्शन, सम प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट, रिपीट्स एट्सेट्रा, अनलाइक इट वॉज कपल ऑफ ईयर्स बैक. या एंड बूटस्ट्रैप्ड रह के भी देर आर इनफ फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स दैट आर अवेलेबल. देर आर इंस्टीट्यूशंस लाइक गेट वेंटेज, वेलोसिटी, जो आपको रेवेन्यू बेस्ड फाइनेंसिंग देते हैं, which are they are very quick to turn around, they are very quick to disburse the amount also, provided you have some runway and you have a business model that generates cash flow on a regular basis. You have banking solutions. आजकल तो सारे banks, Yes Bank, HDFC, IDFC, सारे banks के startup friendly programs हैं. In addition to this, MSME के भी loans available होते हैं. Of course, they come in with slightly stringent guidelines and requirements, but those options are available. So, I think you should explore the cost of diluting your equity versus raising funds at a certain interest. किसमें से आपको ज़्यादा favorable लग रहा है, and then reach a certain scale and then go for bigger rounds.
I think fundraising is all depend on the aspiration of what you want to become, right? There are some brands who are not doing too great. I mean, it's not in the series of 10 CR, 100 CR, but maybe they're doing 10 CR, but they're happy. They think it's a lifestyle business. इतना पैसा आ रहा है, मेरा घर चल रहा है, मेरी फैमिली खुश है, मैं 3-4 इंटरनेशनल ट्रिप्स कर लेता हूँ, I'm happy. There are some brands who are not even happy at doing 100 CR revenue also, right? उनको उससे बड़ा करना है. So
Noise is a very good example of
bootstrap.
running. हाँ, bootstrapped. So bank loans वगैरह बहुत, अगर आपका business सही है तो financial instruments available है market.
In fact, I've been into many forums and there were people who were saying, if you really want the money which makes sense and has a value, it's your customers who can become your investors. You don't need an investor or a banking solution or anything. So think about a product where your customer can become your investor. वो खरीद रहा है, वो आपसे ज़्यादा का खरीद रहा है जितनी की कॉस्ट है, इसका मतलब वो आपका इन्वेस्टर है, राइट?
That's called customer capital. Yes,
Exactly.
एक venture capital है, एक customer capital है.
Exactly. So that is, but वो बनाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. हम यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं, but it's literally difficult to make such products. And like you rightly said, Noise is one that product which has actually built at this stage bootstrapped, and then they did the partnership with Bose. That's what it is. We are open for the questions. I guessed. Can we have a mic, please?
Hi, I would like to first thank you for your honest, speech. Thank you very much. So my question is, what will be your advice for somebody who's starting out a skincare brand and, they want to work on the formulations? And we know, these B2B companies, they don't give you the ownership of the formulation. So what is your advice? Like, should we go to, these research labs and then work with them and then have like the full, ownership of the formula, or then work with the well-established B2B brands and then have a relationship with them? I'd like to hear
So
you.
depends on the novelty of the product that you want to launch. If it is something that it does not exist, you're launching something that is extremely revolutionary, then of course you'll need to have complete control over formulation. Now, taking a very done and dusted example, let's say you're launching a vitamin C serum. Then you also know the kind of research that would need to go, and there are enough research labs, there are enough freelancers available who come in with lot of veteran experiences who you should tie up with initially, because I would not advise that you spend in fixed costs. आप 20-20 साल के formulators, 20-20 साल experience के formulators के experience वाले लोग इनको ले लो. Be very light on your fixed costs, but go with people who come in with that knowledge. Any product, I think India is moving very fast to plus offerings. So when I say that, what I mean is that they're not okay with the vitamin C serum anymore. A vitamin C plus some acid plus something else. Because we have always been, as humans in general, but as Indians in particular, we want more and more value for our money, and hence, because if you look at our history, हम कितने centuries से we've lived in dearth of resources. हमारे resources हमसे छीन लिए गए थे, तो अब हमें लगता है कि जो भी मिल रहा है वो मुझे ज़्यादा चाहिए. हम scarcity mindset में रहते हैं. तो उसके लिए अगर मैं 500 रुपये दे रही हूँ तो मुझे फील होना चाहिए कि यार मेरा प्रोडक्ट, ये मुझे 2000 रुपये की वैल्यू का सामान मिल गया मुझे 500 में. हेंस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट आप पहले आइडेंटिफाई करो कि आप लॉन्च क्या करो. इफ़ यू आर ब्रिंगिंग इन सम अनदर लेवल ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ऑल, देन प्लीज़ टेक टाइम. आप उसमें 6 महीना साल भर लगाओ, उसके बाद लॉन्च करो. इफ़ इट इज़ समथिंग विच इज़ गोइंग टू बी अ रेप्लिका ऑफ some already established or selling formulation like an onion hair oil or a vitamin C, then consult with some freelancers, they will advise you. But plus वाली बात आप ध्यान में रखना, the regular good old is not good enough anymore.
Thank you very much.
Hello, ma'am. So, ma'am, you have come from totally different background, not from Ayurveda. Then you have entered into Ayurvedic business. So, what was your GTM strategy, go-to-market strategy, once you started this product brand? I mean, in Ayurveda, there are a lot of companies, already established companies, and products are divided into classical products, proprietary products, herbal cosmetic range. And I believe your product is coming under herbal cosmetic range. So there are lot of competition already in the market, and you are a newcomer. So what was your strategy? GTM, go-to-market strategy.
So the strategy was simple to first of all make ourselves available and visible on channels, the channels that we had identified, and then keep on saying what we जो plus वाली offering है, what is it that is making us different is one side of it, because that will be a very brand specific statement. That is, when we discuss in our marketing meetings, we call it manufacturer statement. And एक होती है voice of customer speak बोलते हैं. Generally, we keep, as brands or as companies, we are very interested in telling people कि भाई आपको मेरे product में ये भी है, मेरे product में ये भी है, इससे ये भी हो जाएगा, ये भी हो जाएगा. But customer को नहीं जानना, उसको ये जानना है कि भाई customer speak क्या है. So that will only. So once you make yourself visible on the channels that you've identified, depending on the product, for example, आप Sephora पे available नहीं होगे अगर आपका product बिल्कुल mass market है. But अगर आपका product 2-3 हज़ार का है तो you would not want कि मैं Reliance Smart Bazaar में available हूँ, मैं Sephora पे in this category available हूँ. So once you've done that filtration and consolidation, then keep on speaking to customers to understand. And people who are users of your product to understand कि भाई आपने मेरे ad में ऐसा क्या देखा जो click करा, क्यों खरीद रहे हो. And then understand that अगर कोई trend 30-40% लोगों में निकल के आ रहा है, कोई एक statement, you can always build more on that, because there will be India is very populous. There will always be a very big cohort of people who might be going through the same problem and will hear. You will be able to connect with them if you keep on pressing on that cohort.
I understand, ma'am. So I asked why, because you mentioned you are focusing on offline channels, because almost every startup is now focusing on e-commerce or Q-commerce, but your first preference was offline stores. So that's why I asked why your GTM is focused on this offline based sales model, because you are a startup, a fundraise startup, still you are focusing on offline model. That's why I asked.
Okay, so we wanted there to be an experiential touch and feel for the product, and if so, India, it is in India the distribution system is evolving at a speed and in directions that are unprecedented. Like Shruti was mentioning, COVID se pehle, I remember categorically my mom was not comfortable doing a prepaid order, because उनको विश्वास ही नहीं था कि यार ये website से सामान आएगा भी या नहीं आएगा. COVID pushed us, it changed our patterns. We started becoming more comfortable with e-commerce, but that was not by choice. That was because we were forced to. And then came in a lot of online players, and then a lot of enablers, buy now pay later, जिसमें simple जैसे tools available हैं, credit card transaction शुरू हो गई, Paytm and a lot of other wallets started growing. The thing is that we wanted, after COVID, we wanted there to be an experiential touch and feel about the product. Now, quick commerce is the third e-commerce revolution in the country. So one was when Flipkart and Amazon started, second was during COVID, and year 23-24, third e-commerce revolution, and that changes the distribution system. So although we were offline, अब जो future है next 3 to 5 years का जो future दिख रहा है वो quick commerce दिख रहा है. We have to bank big on that.
Hi, I'm Abhishek. So I'm into personal care category. So brand name is Sanify. I started with personal care and then supplying my material to B2B, schools, hospitals, offices. And I realized hand wash is one product that is the borderline between personal care and home care. So my customers want me to make home care products as well because they don't want separate vendor for hand wash only. So question is one brand name for home care and personal care good enough for my customers? Like
You mentioned the brand name is Sanify.
Sanify, yeah.
Sanify से लग तो home care रहा है.
Okay.
मतलब what do you think? Sanitization से related लग रहा है, hygiene से related लग रहा है, तो home care लग रहा है.
Okay, and the second question is, can you give me the 5 things that I need to be ready with before going to a VC?
Why only 5, Abhishek?
I mean,
There are hundreds of
there could be hundreds of matrices, but quick 5 things that are very basic and compulsory to achieve.
मैं आपको बस एक ही सेंटेंस में बोल देती हूँ. इट्स अ मैरिज जहाँ पर आप रिटर्न्स के लिए, फिनेंशियल रिटर्न्स के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो. सो यू डोंट हैव टू जस्ट चूज द टाइप ऑफ पर्सन यू आर गेटिंग इन अ रिलेशनशिप विद, बट ऑल्सो आपको ये भी देखना है दैट यू हैव टू बी कंटिन्यूसली. सो इट्स अ वेरी फाइन ब्लेंड ऑफ you being at your professional best and your personal best. It's a marriage wherein you will be accountable for financial results. अगर इसके लिए आप prepared हो तो बस सब ठीक है.
VC तो कुछ देखेगा ना कि एटलीस्ट ये 5 चीजें तो इसने की हैं तभी मैं इसको बुलाऊं भी या फिर बेकार है.
VC आपको देखेगा.
VC फाउंडर्स में इन्वेस्ट अर्ली स्टेज. देखो यार, अगर आप 100-200 करोड़ प्रॉफिटेबली कर रहे होगे तो VC आपके सिस्टम्स, आपके नंबर्स देख रहा है, तो आप मतलब कुछ भी पहन के जाओगे तो भी चल जाएगा. लेकिन जब आप अर्ली स्टेज पे जा रहे हो तो दे आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन द फाउंडर, and which is why I said equity capital comes, I mean they have a bigger risk appetite as compared to banks, loans, venture debts, etc. तो वो तो सिर्फ आपको देखेगा. एंड अंडरस्टैंड यार दैट व्हेन आई एम सेइंग इट्स अ मैरिज, आप कितने दिनों तक फेक कर लोगे? मतलब जब बहुत लंबे टाइम तक अगर साथ रहना है तो आप, यू कांट बी एट योर टेम्पररी बेस्ट. आज नहीं तो कल आप वल्नरेबिलिटीज़, आपके गंदे वाले साइड्स आपके, एंड आई वेरी स्ट्रांगली बिलीव दैट हमारी ना जो स्ट्रेंथ्स होती हैं वो ऐड होती हैं, बट जो हमारी वीकनेसेस होती हैं वो मल्टीप्लाई होती हैं. अब देखो, हम दोनों अगर हंसी मजाक वाले लोग हैं तो वील हैव अ गुड टाइम, बट सोचो दोनों का अगर शॉर्ट टेम्पर है तो फिर गलत हो जाएगा. तो हमें ये देखना चाहिए कि कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री है कि नहीं है, और एंड आप उस एसोसिएशन में कितना लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टेड होना चाहते हो. आपको पैसा बहुत जगहों से मिल सकता है, ज़रूरी नहीं है वो VC से ही हो. या
पर्सनैलिटी ट्रेट्स नहीं, लाइक कुछ बिजनेस रेशो या कोई रिपीट रेशो,
बहुत कुछ आपका
Instagram
PMF यार, अगर आप महीने का 2-3 करोड़ कर रहे हो और बिना बहुत बर्न किए कर रहे हो, दैट इज़ द राइट टाइम टू सीक इन्वेस्टमेंट.
आई थिंक जब आप इन्वेस्टमेंट देखते हो, VC इन्वेस्टमेंट आपको तब देखना चाहिए जब आपको सिर्फ इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं, आपको मेंटर भी चाहिए. ठीक है. दूसरा, जब आपको अपने बिजनेस या आप कुछ कर सकते हो उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस हो. मे बी आप बूटस्ट्रैप्ड हो गए, आप छोटे ब्रांड हो, कल को आप पिवट भी कर सकते हो. VC को सबसे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. इफ़ यू आर अ सॉलिड फाउंडर, ही विल बेट ऑन यू. बड़े ब्रांड हो तो ऑब्वियसली आपके बिजनेस यूनिट मैट्रिक्स सब पे क्वेश्चन होगा, बट जब छोटे हो तो एक फाउंडर पे वो बेट कर रहा है. प्लीज़ ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. आपका सोशल मीडिया, आपकी ब्रांड इन्फ्लुएंसर मार्केटिंग कुछ वर्क नहीं करती है, सिर्फ आप वर्क करते हो. तो आप या तो अपने प्रोडक्ट पे बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट हो या फिर आप अपने ऊपर बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट हो. और जब आपको अपनी लाइफ में मेंटरिंग चाहिए हो ना, तब आप VC के पास जाओ.
मतलब मेरा तो सैचुरेशन हो गया, तभी मुझे मेंटर चाहिए. मैं तो रेडी हूँ, बट क्या वो मेरे को लेने के लिए रेडी है? उसके लिए मुझे क्या करना है?
जब वो ले लेगा ना, वो कॉन्फिडेंस तब आता है. आई थिंक एवरीवन सिटिंग हियर इज कॉन्फिडेंट इनफ कि मैं ये कर लूँगा, राइट? बेसिकली जब आप बच्चे से पूछते हो एग्ज़ाम कैसा हुआ, कहता है अच्छा हुआ, रिजल्ट बताता है, राइट? इट्स अ सिमिलर थिंग. व्हेन यू आर गोइंग पिचिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ VCs, go to 100 investors, pitch your product, pitch yourself, you will get the confidence then. Maybe 99 reject करेंगे but एक आपको approve करेगा. और सारे founders उसी stage से गए हैं. What do you think? Sridhar sitting here just going to one VC and they approving or no, right? So it's like घिसानी पड़ती है VC के सामने भी, आपको वो experience से आता है, ठीक है?
थोड़ा सा नैरेटिव ना बदल गया है बिकॉज वीसी वाला जो इकोसिस्टम था ना, अब देखो 5 है तो बहुत पुराना, लेकिन जब से स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम थोड़ा सेलिब्रेट होने लग गया है, अब आज से 5 साल पहले कोई और कहीं और जॉब कर रहा था, अब वो कहीं और जॉब कर रहा है वीसी इकोसिस्टम में भी. अब ना सारे लोग कनेक्टेड हैं. तो मैं ये थोड़ा सा बोलूँगी दैट अगर आप 100 लोगों के पास में जा रहे हो और नहीं ओके आ रही है तो फिर प्रॉब्लम है. तो ना पहले होमवर्क पहले कर लो कि यार, क्योंकि उनके वेबसाइट पे उनके बारे में कुछ डिटेल्स होंगी, कैसे फंड्स हैं. ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंटरकनेक्टेड कम्युनिटी है द वे फाउंडर कम्युनिटी इज़. आप रेफ चेक अपने फेलो फाउंडर्स से करो, अपने कुछ जो सीनियर कोलीग्स हैं उनसे करो, और एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू आस्क द वीसी ड्यूरिंग द कॉन्वर्सेशन दैट व्हाट आर दे लुकिंग फॉर एंड व्हाट डू दे ब्रिंग टू द टेबल in addition to money, because like I said, पैसे आप बहुत जगहों से उठा सकते हो.
Just adding here, there are a lot of programs which helps you understand when you're building a brand or as a founder, what all it takes. So that, and there are a lot of incubation programs or the accelerator programs which will even guide you what to pitch to the VC at a core level. But again, वो bookish language है, वो ग्रैनुलर लेवल पे अंडरस्टैंड कर रहा है. वीसी उतना ग्रैनुलर लेवल पे नहीं जाता है. वीसी आपके कुछ सेकंड्स की इंटरेक्शन में ही समझ जाएगा आपके ऊपर बेट करना है कि नहीं करना है. सो यू कैन जॉइन दोज प्रोग्राम्स, सीक सम इंफॉर्मेशंस, गेट सम मेंटर्स हु कैन हेल्प यू, दोज हु आर द पार्ट ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम, हेल्प यू अराउंड, एंड देन यू फाइनली गो टू द VCs. दैट्स हाउ यू कैन गो.
Hello ma'am. So my question around the omni-channel approach by the established brand. So as you mentioned that you started with offline to give experience, right? Then now you are focusing on quick commerce or e-commerce because trend is shifting. So let's say अगर tech company 2024 में बनती तो क्या वो e-commerce या online first brand होता या still like go with the same approach? और in general किसी भी brand को एक साथ तो सारे चैनल पे नहीं आ सकता है, तो एक सीरीज़ है क्या कि यहाँ पे स्टार्ट करें फिर उसके बाद ये एक्सपीरियंस मतलब इस चैनल पे जाएं. तो हाउ अ ब्रांड शुड डिसाइड कि विच चैनल टू स्टार्ट विद एंड देन हाउ टू बेसिकली गो विद द ओमनी चैनल इवेंचुअली.
आपका नाम क्या है?
माय नेम इज़ पवन.
पवन.
या.
तो पवन, आज सुबह ही आई हैव दिस हैबिट ऑफ जर्नलिंग, आई राइट, एंड आज सुबह ही मैं ये सोच रही थी कि अगर मैं दोबारा पुनर्जन्म बोलते री इनकारनेशन, तो वो मतलब दिस इज़ सो कोइंसिडेंटल कि हम पब्लिकली बात करेंगे इसकी. तो मतलब ऑफ कोर्स आपको लगता है कि यार इफ़ यू कुड गो बैक इन द पास्ट एंड यू कुड अनडू कपल ऑफ थिंग्स, बट फिर आपको ये लगता है कि बट देन वुड आई बी द सेम पर्सन द श्रीधा दैट आई वाज 1 year बैक? आई वाज नॉट द सेम पर्सन दैट आई एम टुडे, राइट? सो येस, अगर आज हम शुरू करते तो वी वुड हैव डेफिनेटली स्टार्टेड ऑनलाइन first and then eventually traverse to an offline journey, but at the same time one needs to understand that these quick commerce platforms they operate out of a dark store model and they have limited spaces and their space is their biggest capex, hence they need to optimize the maximum. They will always maximize for value per square feet, not even square feet, per square centimeter, which is why it is absolutely important that which is why they will keep pushing you. अब जैसे अब हमें I'll not name the platform, but अब हमें ये पुश आता है कि अगर आपका ये वाला SKU मिनिमम जो इसको मंथली एक SKU को करना है दैट इज़ 30 लाख रुपए. तो पहले वो नंबर 2 लाख रुपए होता था, फिर वो नंबर 5 लाख रुपए होता था. Because I need to understand that within the same dark store, I'm competing with an iPhone, I'm competing with a vacuum cleaner, I'm competing with probably a Manyavar kurta, and हमारा product cannot be 5-6 thousand का product. So until and unless they are getting that kind of attraction for a particular SKU, it doesn't make sense for them. So the answer is, but focus पहले अपनी D2C website पे और market. Quick commerce is a pull platform, it's not a push platform. जब आप ब्लिंकिट खोलते हो या जेप्टो खोलते हो, कोई सा भी प्लेटफॉर्म खोलते हो, आपको 10 मिनट में चाहिए, आपको वो चाहिए होता है जो आपका ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड है, अनलेस इट्स फूड कैटेगरी. फूड इज़ वेरी एक्सपेरिमेंटल, बट वहाँ पर जाके आप पर्सनल केयर एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करोगे, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करोगे. सो लाइक दैट.
Just adding to this, because this used to be our bread and butter, and we've told, like, more than 18 years we've been telling to the brands this thing. I think when you're starting, think of understanding what channels you can go online to. कौन से channels make sense. वहाँ पे जो लोग खरीद रहे हैं, if you can get, even with your D2C brands, figure out which pin codes are most working with you. The other thing is how your brand is getting stuck to the consumer. That means the consumer experience is an important factor. Unfortunately, आज के इस कॉम्पिटिटिव टाइम में जो पहले का एक एक्सपीरियंस सेंटर होता था वो हम मिस कर गए हैं. अब हमारा कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस एक तरीके से पैकेजिंग होता है. बट आई रिमेंबर क्राफ्ट्सविला व्हेन दे लॉन्च्ड, they used to send a handwritten note and a छोटा सा पोटली which had a इत्र, बिल्कुल छोटू सा, वन टाइम यूज़ करने वाला, and it got stuck to so many people. You know, Fashion and You had a very different USP. I knew so many friends were mad about just being on time and having those. That was another era again. Being in competitive today with so many brands and optimizing your product from the costing perspective becomes very difficult to provide the customer experience. But still, if you can create some innovation to get stuck to your customer in any way, is something that is going to help you creating the LTV, which is lifetime value for the customer, and that's going to help you as a brand. आप जब वो पिन कोड्स लेते हो ना, वो पिन कोड्स आपको हेल्प करते हैं कि अब जब आप ऑफलाइन में स्केल करना चाहते हो तो कौन से रीजन्स में आपको सबसे पहले जाना है. यू नो, अर्लियर क्या होता था, जब एक ब्रांड ऑफलाइन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में पहले जाता था वो कभी असम वगैरह को फोकस ही नहीं करता था. ऑनलाइन ने एक डिफरेंट सेगमेंट दिया कि सबसे ज़्यादा सेल जो हायर एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू आता है वो वहाँ पे असम वगैरह में होता है, मणिपुर में होता है, क्योंकि वहाँ पे ब्रांड रीच ही नहीं है. अब ब्रांड्स जा रहे हैं बिकॉज उनको वो डेटा मिल रहा है, बट वो ब्रांड रीच ही नहीं थी और सबसे ज़्यादा ऑनलाइन जो हाई एवरेज ऑर्डर होता था वो वहाँ से आता था. सो ऑनलाइन चैनल कैन गिव यू लॉट ऑफ इंसाइट्स इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग दैट डेटा माइंडफुली, and that is going to help you grow your brand overall. मतलब हम कहते हैं डेटा बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेट होता है, सब होता है, बट उसी डेटा को आप अपने लिए सिंप्लीफाई करोगे तो आप बिजनेस को बेटर बिल्ड कर सकते हो rather than just ignoring it. That's what I would suggest.
I know थोड़ा लंबा हो रहा है, but I just want to share couple of things. So you know, we've been talking about changes in distribution system, but आप एक बार खुद सोचो, let's say हम सबकी moms जब लिपस्टिक लेने जाती थी या बिंदी लेने जाती थी तो जनरली घर के पास एक ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड, या घर से थोड़ी दूर भी, बट एक मार्केट में ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड स्टोर होता था, और जो आपकी मम्मी को मतलब बहन जी बोलता था, जो बिल्कुल बाय फेस जानता था. हाँ, और वो फिर वहाँ से जाके अपने मेकअप प्रोडक्ट्स, कॉस्मेटिक प्रोडक्ट्स, पर्सनल केयर प्रोडक्ट्स लाती थी. आप या फिर हाइपर मार्केट्स में जाते थे तो आप चिप्स के पैकेट और पॉपकॉर्न और ये सारी चीज़ें एक बार में बल्क में ख़रीद लेते थे कि या तो एक हफ्ते 10 दिन या पूरे महीने चले कि गेस्ट आ गए, बिस्किट्स वगैरह. लुक एट हाउ दैट हैज़ चेंज्ड. डू यू रिमेंबर गोइंग टू अ रिटेल स्टोर डेडिकेटेडली इन द नियर पास्ट फॉर बाइंग अ शैम्पू? आप में से कौन डेडिकेटेडली कि यार आज तो मैं गाड़ी उठा के जा रहा हूँ, मैं शैम्पू लेके आऊँगा, वो मेरा कोर इंटेंट है घर से बाहर निकलने का? नहीं होता वो. एंड पहले आप अमेज़ॉन वगैरह से फिर भी ऑर्डर कर लेते होगे, बट अब वो सारे जो चैनल्स हैं वो क्विक कॉमर्स पे मूव हो रहे हैं. सो इट इज़ नॉट द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम ओनली दैट इज़ चेंजिंग, द कस्टमर इज़ चेंजिंग. व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज़ दैट अब जो सेम बास्केट बन रही है आटा दाल की, आपका जो पर्सनल केयर प्रोडक्ट विच वॉज अर्लियर इन एक्सपीरियंशियल प्रोडक्ट, जहाँ पर आपकी मम्मी को या शायद आपको भी फेस से जाना जाता था, नाउ दिस इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ योर ग्रोसरी बास्केट. सो दीज प्रोडक्ट्स आर ग्रोसरी नाउ. एंड पहले ये भी हम भी तो इवॉल्व हुए हैं. पहले लोगों को लगता था कि सिर्फ शिकाकाई या रीठा से बाल धो लो, फिर मुल्तानी मिट्टी से कर लो, फिर धीरे धीरे नहीं हुआ, अच्छा शैम्पू होगा, ऑल क्लियर होगा, फिर होगा अच्छा डैंड्रफ के लिए अलग शैम्पू आता है, अब कर्ली बालों के लिए अलग आता है, 50 टाइप के शैम्पूज आते हैं. तो कस्टमर इज़ ऑल्सो इवॉल्विंग एंड हेंस द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम इज़ इवॉल्विंग. सो दैट इज़ वन. सेकेंडली, रिटेल जो हो रहा है ना, रिटेल या तो एब्सोल्युटली मास मार्केट में ग्रो करे, रिटेन कर रहा है, या फिर एक्सपीरियंस लग्जरी में. सो जहाँ पर एक्सपीरियंशियल रिटेल है. सो एक्सपीरियंशियल रिटेल, अगर आप हाई एंड मॉल्स में या फिर डिसेंट मॉल्स में एक अच्छी दुकान खोल के बैठे हुए हो, द कॉस्ट ऑफ रनिंग दैट स्टोर विल बी वेरी हाई. अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट सिर्फ 300-400 रुपये का है एंड आपकी बास्केट अगर डिसेंट नहीं बन पा रही है, तो आप खर्चे ही नहीं निकाल पाओगे. सो दैट इज़ अ सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्टिव स्पाइरल अगेन. एंड द थर्ड थिंग इज़ दैट very important to understand that हमें ना we should, so I'll give you an example. Last year when we thought that we need to now focus more on online, ironically we were active on 29 e-commerce marketplaces overall, e-commerce channels. पहली चीज़ मैंने करी कि यार इंक्लूडिंग आवर वेबसाइट हम सिर्फ 5 पे मैंने सारी बंद करा दी. टीम बोल रही है अरे नहीं, इस पे तो 2 लाख की सेल होती है, इस पे महीने की 5 लाख की सेल होती है, इस पे ऐसा होता है. मैंने कहा नहीं, सब बंद करो. सो फोकस, आपको पता होना चाहिए मेरा कंज्यूमर कहाँ पर है, मुझे किस पे फोकस करना है. वेबसाइट पे फोकस करा एंड विद इन 3 quarters वी हैव हैड अ 400-500% ग्रोथ इन वॉट एवर नंबर्स दैट वी वर एट. नाउ वो सिर्फ फोकस से आएगा. मैं 29-30 मार्केट प्लेसेस पे वो कर ही नहीं सकती थी. सो वी प्रून्ड डाउन आवर चैनल्स, वी प्रून्ड डाउन आवर SKUs एंड उसी पे ही पूरी जान लगा के काम करा.
Hi Shridha, it was lovely listening to you. My name is Simran and I also run a D2C brand. And I'm going to fully shift gears and ask you, how do you hire talent on a budget? So if you're a small brand, you do need high potential people, but those people do know that they're high potential and it's often very expensive and you want the brand to grow. So how do you optimize this team building activity, which is very essential to make like a long lasting brand?
That's a हाँ, ये chicken and egg story actually, Simran. So be okay with hiring. See, right people, wrong people will be subjective in your journey. People who are absolutely the best today may not be relevant tomorrow, and vice versa, right? Depending on the stage and age of the business. अगर आप मुझसे बहुत ही पर्सनल पूछो कि what do I look for, I come from an army background. My father was in the army. तो मैं तो उनको बोलती हूँ कि तुम फौज ज्वाइन कर रहे हो. एक तो मतलब at any cost कंपनी को बचाना है, so company first. एंड दूसरा साथियों को बचाना है, बिकॉज आर्मी में वही. एंड आई वॉज ऑल्सो सेलेक्टेड फॉर द इंडियन आर्मी इन 2012. आई वॉज ऑल इंडिया रैंक 4. But ever since my great grandfather, he was in the British Army, then everybody had been in the army. So I was the first person ever to do an MBA. I was the guinea pig. तो हमें तो यही होता है कि फौज ज्वाइन कर रहे हो तुम, हाँ, ना खुद मरना, ना दुश्मन को छोड़ना, और साथियों को भी बचा लेना. But having said that, everybody would say that they can do this in an interview. After checking, recently, I mean not that recent, but पिछले 1-1.5 साल से ना मैं peer interviews करवाती हूँ. But that is possible when you have a certain set of people जिनको आपको पता है कि अपने अपने domain में they have established themselves and they are relevant in terms of their performance. So peer interview is something, because see, अगर for example अगर मैं marketing में कोई head of marketing hire कर रही हूँ, और somebody at that point who is going to lead the function, वो मुझे इम्प्रेस करके क्या फ़ायदा अगर वो मेरे सप्लाई चेन वाले के साथ में, या फिर अगर मेरे ई-कॉमर्स के साथ में वो जेल नहीं कर पा रहा है. तो सो एब्सोल्युटली इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट लोगों की आपस में ट्यूनिंग बैठे. एंड एक दूसरे को चैलेंज करें. सो what I also think is very important that एक ही जगह से बहुत ज़्यादा लोग हायर करने वो मैं नहीं करती हूँ. There needs to be variety. Third, when you are building a startup, we should admit and be okay with the fact that we are all doing it for the first time. So including the founders. And that is the most important lesson. So आपको बहुत बार चीज़ें नहीं आएंगी. You need to have people who come in with contrasting opinions and do value add. So look for people जो आपको लगता है, and that saying, the cliched saying that bring in people who are smarter than you is true. Cost, we have invested in freshers. When we started in late 2019, early 2020, we have 5 people who've completed more than 4 years with the company, and we recently celebrated their 4th year anniversaries. And मैंने उनसे पूछा कि भाई तब तो उतना टैग मतलब कुछ था ही नहीं, तुमने ज्वाइन क्यों करा? तो see, these will be the people who are joining your company not for what the company is but for who Simran is. So be true to that. And जब आपकी और कंपनी की वैल्यू सिस्टम अलाइन करेगी, I think that solves for a lot of problems. Because early stage में तो you don't मतलब एक मिशन है, but eventually वो मिशन सर्वाइव करेगा नहीं करेगा पता नहीं, but अगर वो लोग आपके साथ हैं तो फिगर आउट हो जाता है. एंड फ्रेशर्स में इन्वेस्ट करना आई थिंक हैज़ बिन वेरी इंस्ट्रूमेंटल फॉर अस. सो आउट ऑफ दीज 5 people, 3 are freshers and 2 of them are leading departments now.
Thank you so much.
फ्रेशर्स के साथ ना आप इंटर्न्स भी देख सकते हो. बेसिकली आप 5 को स्पेशली देन व्हेन यू आर जस्ट स्टार्टिंग योर बिजनेस, हायर इंटर्न्स. मे बी एक एक्सपीरियंस बंदे की जगह आप 5 इंटर्न्स हायर कर सकते हो. जब वो इंटर्न्स का आप कंफर्मेशन दोगे तो वो फ्रेशर्स हो गए, राइट? नाउ इन्वेस्ट ऑन देम, बिकॉज उनके साथ बूटस्ट्रैपिंग के साथ जो आप अपना बिजनेस बना रहे हो वो भी सीख रहे हैं, आप भी सीख रहे हो. दूसरा, आप उनकी स्किलिंग में जब इन्वेस्ट करोगे, जो लॉयल्टी आपको वहाँ से आएगी वो एक एक्सपीरियंस बंदे को हायर करके नहीं आएगी. तो आप उनके डोमेन में, जैसे मार्केटिंग का कुछ हुआ, सोशल मीडिया हुआ, सप्लाई चेन हुआ, उनके कोर्सेज में आप इन्वेस्ट करो, एंड you will see the genuineness and the loyalty that will come from those core members, and those people are going to help you building your organization as a unicorn, even if you are at a unicorn level. So that's the core.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ladies, for that wonderful, very honest and very passionate conversation. I can truly call it as a fireside chat. Thank you once again. So many anecdotes from their professional and their personal experiences. Shridhar, thank you bringing in from your personal experience that you know how it is important. You've been pressing on the note of the research and development, how it's important, it's core to any business to really have its formulation and thereafter the growth. And you talked about the evolving nature of the consumer also, you know, so many things that we actually know about, but then in platforms like that, when we discuss, we are realigned. And thank you so much, Shruti, for bringing in that impetus to this conversation, giving us a traction to this wonderful, I was really enjoying the conversation. It didn't feel like 2 people, it was just 2 friends talking, and then we have more friends joining in together. And that is the idea behind this CMPL, especially this knowledge series, where we try to bring in, both of you try to connect that how important it is to have that face-to-face connect. And that's the whole idea behind this knowledge series, that we bring in people offline to hum milte hain, I mean online to hum milte hain, but offline to have such kind of conversation. This feels that it's like a mission accomplished. So on behalf of CMPL Expo 2024, I'll really thank you. A huge round of applause for both the ladies and for you for interacting so well. May I now invite Hazel Menezes to kindly join us onto the stage and present a memento. This is just a token of love and appreciation. Thank you so much for taking out some time and interacting with us. Hazel, may I invite you to kindly present a memento to Shridhar. We are presenting a memento to Shridhar. If you really enjoyed it, you'll mark it with your huge round of applause. Thank you so much. And maybe also present a memento to Shruti. Thank you so much. It was a tough but a wonderful job. Hazel, may I request you to kindly join the ladies for a group photograph? Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to the end of this session where we had a bit of a chat and discussion.